Oh, gosh. That was pretty trippy. I'm sure.
No, I was like looking at Pack's stream and getting like nauseated.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looked like. 'Cause I didn't do anything like that.
Clip,
I was just walking around.
You wanna see what the clip looks like?
Well, it was literally like left and right. Like your head was. The view is just. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like the game view was like skipping back and forth. Then your idle game was also doing that, as was your webcam, which it wasn't too obvious. But if you looked at like your eyes, they were like blinking.
It was definitely not good.
There we go.
You have an idle game up on the screen?
I did.
Yes, yeah.
I turned it off for the rest of for this now, though.
There, hey, there's a.
So how you doing, hun?
Right.
Have you
I'm
finished
good.
exploring yet?
Sold. Pretty much. This is really. This is cool. This is a cool little find you guys made.
Little. That's what I would not define. I mean, compared to the other place, this is little, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
When it's looted as well, like there was lots of stuff.
No, this is a cool find. I love the scale. Like you see all the things hanging down, and you see all of the glass that would have been in that giant dome over the head, like a mall.
Yeah, they spent time on this. Don't forget, by the way, you just saw a whole bunch of wallpaper downstairs. If you ever wanted it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of the wallpaper already.
Okay, I'm gonna head down.
Daisy. Hello, beautiful wild daisies. Hello, lupine.
Oh, I gotta read over chatty. Can't see anybody yet.
Ah, the oak sapling in the planter. Very slick.
Yeah, I don't know what actually crashed there, but that was pretty bad. I know that was happening on my desktop earlier. I thought it was just because of Rusty's thing, so I wasn't sure. So I closed that, and then I still couldn't access my desktop, so I don't know what happened.
So is Rusty's thing the idol?
I can see you now, Sultana. Yeah, it's a demo, but it's a really fun little game. Wolf o'clock.
All right. We should head back. This is really neat. The gas lamp room? So next week is our final week on Vintage Story. There's people anything
This season.
This season, yes. That is good to say. You break it, you own it.
What'd you do, hun?
I own it. It's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Water was flowing into a planter, and I took the planter. Water then decided it had to flow everywhere else. It's fine.
Right here.
Honey sprung a leak.
Oh,
Hi.
he's back.
He did. Hi, Firedale. Welcome back, babe.
Let's see.
Let's try this again.
You doing better, man? You worry me.
Worry me too.
He's got enough to worry about. I'm just saying. You gotta get good.
I just got a really bad headache and really tired all of a sudden. And everything else, so I took some Tylenol for the headache and rested a little bit. Still have a headache, but not as bad. But I don't feel like I'm groggy anymore.
Is
Thank you.
this connected?
That's a separate structure. There's actually a translocator that we haven't used at the top of it.
Okay.
So overall, yeah, I feel a little bit better.
Good. Fire Red Lily says I should tell you that she made a Stardew Valley mod just to build a better bridge. She said you'd probably be amused, and the first thing you did was laugh, so.
Well, yeah.
That's awesome. So that's separate. Okay, so wait a second. Where? Oh, you're bringing the. Hi. Yeah, lights are good. Oh man. Home, James.
Heading back.
I got so much crap.
Well, that
So
was
how did
literally the
basement
point of
run
this.
go?
I'm glad you found
Mhm.
cool stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's just some oddball things and stuff that I thought, oh, Liaj might be interested in, but I know Liaj has got all of the things that he's already.
I mean, and
interested
I've done a few browses through there. Like, I know the chisel things are really cool, but technically I could have just made them too.
Could you though?
Maybe.
Given enough time and effort.
I mean, like, if
Definitely.
I was like, I want to make a saxophone, I could probably produce something of maybe not like similar quality, but like you'd get the idea that it was a saxophone.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
No, you do good.
So. Ooh.
You can't see.
Tell me how I ended up outside.
Right?
Now, trying to quickly throw together a basement room for the museum. Which will, I had a great idea. Like, all like the ruined like bookshelves and like haphazard slapdash messy ruined stuff, I could just put a bunch of that in the basement as if it's
Mhm.
like we haven't sorted through these items yet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Like museums that have their storage rooms full of boxes of to-dos.
Yeah.
And we can fill some of the extra ancient crates and stuff that we have with several things of one thing, like
Several things of one thing.
we could fill them up with different, one at a timesies, like the bricks or something, whatever. If you have a lot of the scroll things.
Yeah.
That's just in storage for later. That's very cool. So I'm sorry. I know I've been yawning for like 2 hours.
It's almost time for you to be done,
At
and
least
you
you
had
did.
another long night.
Good game.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna use the hot tub tonight, hun?
Oh, I am so using the hot tub tonight.
Good, because then
Hun-
you'll
hun-
actually fall asleep when you try to fall asleep.
Wow.
Hun
hopefully.
tub time machine.
Oh man. Oh man.
They're gonna burn off Hun's nerves.
Yep.
Don't do
They
that.
are.
Oh
No,
it-
no,
Oh no, this is actually a thing we want to happen.
I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the pain management doctor today in order that my neurosurgeon, the back doctor sent me to discuss a cortisone shot to try to ease some of the inflammation that's still happening while the nerves settle over the course of the year. And at that point, but then I came home with, well, they evaluated me and discussed things and went and looked over the MRI and all that. And we're like, I think that the cortisone shot, we're beyond cortisone shot. I think the cortisone shot is not going to provide what we think it's going to provide because you're not cortisone shot level. So they want to do an ablation. Yes, they want to do a nerve ablation in my spine. So basically, they're going to burn off some damaged nerves to eliminate, basically, so I don't feel the pain and can function because I don't feel the pain.
Hun, you know what that means, right? You'll no longer feel any sort of pain. You're invincible. You're invincible, hun.
I just realized that this turns our backpack into it's like when you stick a chest inside a minecart.
Yeah, it's two different mods trying to do it at the same time. Yeah.
Thing.
Hun's gonna come back after her nerve thing and be like, "All right, I want you to stab me. I can't feel it."
Oh God. Considering I have had chronic pain for over half my life, if they can help, and there's actually a couple of spots that still have severe arthritis in it. So anyway, they're like, well, we're gonna start with this, and then we're gonna go to that. Anyway,
I'm just checking on the cheese. I'll be home in a minute.
I'm still on F5, so I'm like, why is this weird? Man, back at our original place is trippy. It's not even our original place. Oh, bad guy. It's our secondary.
There is a portal
place.
from there to our original place, though. Here, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Much appreciated. Aww.
Mercification.
Awesome.
Wow.
Which thingy takes us all the way home?
Middle one. Remember the one with the stripe on it?
Right. Oh, yeah. Inability to feel pain is actually extremely serious. People with this condition injure themselves without. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that diabetics, because they stop feeling things in their feet and then they get sores and don't know it, and they get infected and they don't know it. But it would be a highly targeted thing. They would actually do a couple sets of like mini nerve blocks to confirm they've got the right spot. And yeah, so it's a thing. And hopefully it'll be good.
Take that one.
Oh my gosh, I can see your chest organization, or at least some chest organizations. This beehive storage vessel. I'm just saying. Yoink.
Yeah, there was some good. I figured like if I'm gonna dump some stuff, might as well put it in one of the nice vessels we found.
I don't want to just breeze over that.
Hi, fire.
Mystification really
Yeah,
seriously.
you want the vessel, you just have to sort
Like
the
my
stuff
new
out.
It's really
outfit?
appreciated.
I do.
Woohoo.
I'm inside of another
wearing
rift.
new clothes.
Yeah.
You're all decked out in red and gold.
I got Forgotten Noble
Are you
shirt.
trying to get on my good side, honey?
Forgotten King shoes. Woohoo! Fortune teller scarf. Let's hide that face behind the cat. I got Rotten
looking
King
good.
shoes. Oh yeah. But wait.
Mind the rift in my staircase right now. I have to place a
Is
block.
that why it starts spinning?
Yeah,
Shepherd pants.
I'm very insane.
Jailer
I placed some of my recording thingies in your thingy, your
Did somebody
storage.
Did somebody
Oh.
stand in the portal?
I had to place some planks in a certain direction, and in order to do that, I had to put myself in the rift to look at the correct block to place the plank.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Lash is seeing things right now.
Yeah,
Where-
my vision is now wobbly when I'm outside of the rift.
Where'd you put them, Nihan? I don't see the chest.
They're in the there's a bunch of chests and stuff downstairs.
Oh, downstairs.
And theoretically, the addition of the
the tuning
basement
stuff's
should.
upstairs. I'm gonna grab them.
Oh, okay.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
There's like 3 of them. Yeah.
I hope I hear a bunch of drifters. I hope I didn't spawn
Those are the ones I had copies
nightmares
of. So.
on you.
Good luck.
Yeah, I hope you didn't either.
These walls still are like technically the basement's here now. So, but like the walls still have like a hollow behind them, and the rift is in one of the hollows.
Thank you very much. That was very cool.
Yeah, I really wanted you to experience that one, son, because
Yeah.
we'd all seen. I knew you would love that.
No,
Oh, no,
that
the
was
rift-
really
I'm
neat
still
to
within
see
its
that.
range here.
Bunny.
Got that.
Bye, guys. I'll send a raid your way in a little bit, baby.
Okay.
Bye.
See you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Night, hon.
Don't forget to write.
At 17%.
Glass.
Oh, that one. Okay. I haven't done this one yet. Oh, it's that song.
I see all this blue liquid flowing on the map now. It's just the roads.
This
Yeah.
rift is annoying.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't there. I mean, but is it a light level that stops rifts from spawning? Like if I put lighting
Well-
inside the hollow?
Not exactly, but a light level will stop things from spawning from a rift. Like that's why you can have a rift in the middle of the day and not have it surrounded,
Yeah.
because the light level's too high for them to spawn.
I feel like they don't usually spawn inside buildings though, and I feel like having a dark basement
Yeah,
makes
it's
that
just-
happen.
I think you just got unlucky. I've
Okay.
had it happen before. It's just random.
Okay. So here's the thing I'm worried about. But I don't know if it's actually going
The music keeps going funky. Are you playing a record right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because the music goes funny when I get near the rift. And it seemed louder than this song usually is.
Okay, what was that,
Oh, yeah,
Firedale?
I
At the
put the
piano.
charges in, and they show they add 15 charge every negative 500 seconds.
Could be slightly problematic.
Oh, the roads glow. Get offline. If they don't actually charge, it just means I need to remove one set of gears. Which will suck because it's all nice and set well. I think fall will be here soon.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Starting to turn.
Oh, you
No.
immediately disappeared. Just smacked you and then just disappeared.
Bye bye.
Well, the roads did not stop them from spawning.
No.
Nihan?
Yeah, what's up?
So I just made a whole bunch of vessels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the red ones that that are used for the wines.
Yes.
I would love to get a bunch of these berries, squeeze them, and start processing them.
Okay.
As soon as I remember where I put them.
Very important.
Have you been hitting the saucer pack? Is that what you forgot?
Oh, no, I remember. It's downstairs, where all the rest of the stuff that's aging is. Downstairs in the storage room.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've made a bunch of them, so we can like make all the wines. I need to put things away before I can really do that, though. I have no room. Don't suppose you have a pottery chest?
No, I do not.
Well, I meant Liaj because he's sorting all the stuff out in here.
Not really. No, my sorting algorithm was garbage, large things that I would like to put in the museum, small things that I would like to put in the museum, my miscellaneous building materials that ended up in chests somehow, and like clothing.
Okay. I know you probably found some of the aged children's toys. I got one that looks like a tiny wagon. Did you get one of those?
I didn't. The only one I got was like a doll.
Yeah, I got 3 of those.
And also, I really didn't go out of my way to pick up a lot of the like shelves with potions and stuff, or like scroll racks. But if anyone did get those, I think I would like some of those now.
Question: somebody's got an arc spanner, right?
What's an arc spanner?
Yes.
Oh, Fairdale,
So-
you have one? Can I?
Yeah, it's
Am
in the
I-
chest.
Oh, in the
I-
chest in the.
Well, I literally just moved the chest, so I'm over here by it. What's up?
Oh, okay. I just need to borrow it for a moment.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, I'm over at the landing area.
Okay.
Well, the new landing area.
Oh, okay.
I'm heading back to the old one now.
Oh, okay. We have a new landing area.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, it's fancy.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Both
you.
fancy and schmancy.
I'm working on it. Oh, you're
Yes.
hold shift and right click on it with the spanner, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep holding it.
Thank you.
You must have been hit by rocks.
No, I'm a dum dum and I did the wrong thing and broke my ship with the pick instead of converting it to an item.
Oh, you were trying to pick it up.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yep.
Oops.
It happens. Is the charger thing over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my ship then. And do it properly this time.
Who all's in town?
I think we all are.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't put stairs up
Oh. Goodness.
to do it yet.
Stairs would help. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
how
way.
Should build an escalator, and then it can be when it breaks, it could become temporary stairs. Sorry for the convenience.
So, yeah. Holy,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that thing charged up real quick.
you're bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's done.
So
Yep.
that's an improvement.
Big
Okay,
improvement.
so negative 500 seconds is good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how quickly they're turning downstairs?
Very. Yeah.
Well, that
I-
explains a
now-
lot.
Yeah, see, I've
Now,
got one set
now this platform might
and
be
that,
a
and there.
small This platform might have a small flaw.
What's that?
Well, I would like to park my machine on it. Is the thing.
Oh, you'll have to use the stairs over here until I make a proper ramp
Oh,
up to it.
yours is
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, you can also just like drop it, pick it up,
Make
and
it
then put it down.
temporarily. Yeah, you could also just make it temporarily a flying machine.
It's probably already
I do have-
charged.
I mean, yeah,
Well, it
mine's
won't
been
be
full.
until he turns it off. They don't charge until they turn off.
Okay, well it's full.
Now it's
Mine
charged.
was 98 before, anyways, but I wanted to put it here because everyone else put theirs here.
I like how everyone's parking around that, and there's clearly space to land.
Well, I mean, are these spaces all within range of the charger?
Yeah.
So, like, if I do, like,
Yes.
here.
Ta-da.
Well, this is neat.
And charged. Yeah. So as long as we have some wind, it's gonna go. Unless it's really, really slow.
We're at near gale
There.
right now.
Okay, so negative seconds is good.
Max got the old
Oh,
machine that has no attachments.
That's just because they put them down when we were over here.
Wait, what?
To
It's-
us,
it's
it
just
looks
the,
like an empty machine. It's just visual.
Yeah, it's just whenever someone summons it for the
Yeah.
first time when other people are present, we don't
Oh.
see the full model. Yeah. Oh, this guy.
look at him.
Oh, guy.
I don't want to use him. No. Okay, can't use him. No.
Oh,
Single
wait, where does it
use,
actually
single
take you?
use.
It takes you back to. Hold on. It says on the tail tip. It brings you back to your returning.
Oh, and when
So-
wait, when it's single use, it only lasts one use.
Yes,
Like the entire device destroys itself afterwards.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. Sorry, I didn't even realize that.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, no, don't use it. Don't use it.
I mean, in that case, I think it would belong better off in the museum. I
Yeah.
thought it would be something that would be
No,
functional.
No, I think it's single. I believe it's single use. So.
I mean, that is useful, but like, I mean, that seems like such a rare thing to be single use.
Right. Well, you can build them. That's the thing.
Wait, oh yeah, base return teleporter is.
It's
Maybe it makes a fried one once you use it.
probably. You could always make a second one and test that out.
Yeah. I mean, it uses a lot of fancy. Well, I guess the idea is you bring it with you and then use it.
Right. And then it blows up, and then it's like, okay.
How expensive is that compared to like the death teleporter?
Probably about the same. I could check real quick.
And
Let me
the death
let me
teleporter,
check.
you could like bring one with you too. Well, I mean, I guess that would be stupid because then if you died, then you'd.
It's about the same. It's about the same cost.
But the death
It-
one, it requires a gear each use.
Yeah. This doesn't require a gear, so that's the trade-off, I think.
Mm-hmm. But I do think the base returns actually that is really useful to bring with you. Then, if you wanted a bunch of them, if you could like
Right.
craft
If
multiples.
you could craft them in mass, yeah, that'd be perfect to bring.
Because I mean, death return is a completely different use case than base return.
One of them you have to be dead for.
Oh, here, latch.
Oh yeah, that is a cool little toy.
Yeah, I thought that was worthy.
That'll go somewhere in the collection, perhaps. Yeah. More brain.
Twitch clip links now have product advertisement in them.
What the heck?
It says Chibel because the one man just posted for
MP
Pack
Energy Cherry.
has, yeah.
Well, actually, MP. I was wondering if that was like I was wondering if that was a like an emote that they happen to have a sponsored emote that the clip title went into.
That would still be product advertisement, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and they like, I mean, it's silly, but yeah.
My night vision mask has enough fuel for 6.9 hours. Nice.
Nice.
You can't wear it anymore.
Nope.
Yep.
Gonna retire it now.
Go make a new one.
Despite the fact that I could just refuel the dang thing and have it go back down to that number again.
Yep.
A terminus teleporter.
Yes. That is the
Death return.
Okay,
Yep, that's one we have.
I'm gonna harvest.
Oh, you sit in it and it kills you and teleports you home?
No.
No.
I mean, if you're sitting in it and this thing full of gear suddenly rams into your head,
Yep. Yeah. No, let me move.
I wish I knew what's going on today.
Why are you mining berries? Ha. I'm just... It's just... I don't want to... Something about these games... If you're holding the item that you're trying to work with, like if I'm trying to harvest berries, it either won't let you click on the berries, it'll use the berry, or something like... If you can... If I'm holding the pick, then it doesn't... Then it just harvests the berry without filling the slot and causing issues. Anytime I can work with a non-open hand, I'd rather do that. Because then you just fill the open hand and then it's a whole problem over again.
Yeah, it is annoying when you have to have an empty hand to interact with something, but you just never have an empty hand.
Right.
Actually, what's even more annoying, sometimes, like, if I have something in my offhand, it's like, sorry, that hand one of your hands isn't empty, so you can't use me. I was holding my lantern, though.
Right. Very irritating. That'll do some juice.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, what the... Something, like, untabbed me for a second.
I'm actually not looking forward to going south and checking the farm because I know that there's another round of peanuts to bring home. They have filled like every single chest in our food storage.
Are they meat or veggie?
They're veggie, but they provide protein. But I use them. You basically want to use them to make peanut butter. They're very good at that.
would assume it would be difficult to make peanut butter with anything other than peanuts. So that makes sense.
Yeah, but you don't want to use them to eat them raw. When you change them into peanut butter, they gain the oil and they gain a whole lot more fulfillment.
So I do have to say on that, to quote a great philosopher, well, that sounds like a personal problem.
Words of wisdom.
Galmer wants to know if this game has ruined us for TFC.
No. Has not.
As long as TFC has not ruined us for TFC.
All
I'm
right.
still I have not forgotten last season, but I'm also looking forward to the next season because I know that we're going to be doing it in the modded version, and I am looking forward to that run.
You can fix it with mods.
Well, Technode Firmcraft or whatever one we go, we might go with not Technode. There is another one out right now that's supposed to be really good. I can't remember the name of it.
Greg Tech Firmacraft.
What was that, Hun? The name of it is not Technode. Thank you, Hun. The one that's not Technode is not Technode.
Very important to know.
Is it actually not Technode?
There is no Technode for 1.18 yet. Really? Well, that makes it difficult, now doesn't it?
But is there a Technode for 1.20?
We did do a Technode, Terraform Punk. We did do that, I think, before Technode.
Mm-hmm. That goes in there.
I think we did like Terraform Punk, then Technode, then like Technode again. Because it was like by then a different Technode. And how many TFC scenes have we had like total modded vanilla? It's been like a lot now.
A lot.
Because it would have been like vanilla, punk, vanilla.
All the mods
Technode.
gravitas. Yeah, I think that's the one that people have been telling me about lately.
Yeah. In that case, probably like I was wondering if we were gonna do like custom pack or one that exists. If I'm gonna make my own model, I guess I'll have to add it manually then, or
Yeah, we
get the
we
mod
can
pack
manage.
maker to like me. But so probably manual add in that case.
What mod are you thinking about?
I don't know. It'll be Terraforma things too. With different things, probably.
Terraforma things too. Now with more stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say like now with more things. That's what I probably would have. Except that like it's not even gonna be more things is the thing. It's gonna start with probably less things because I'd have to make the things.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Galmer, what is the current version of TSC is 1.18, correct? Current version of TFC is 1.20. Is there a good mod pack in 1.20?
For TFC.
How much has changed and I don't remember if what we last played was. I mean, well, I guess it was probably was it 118 that we last played or. I mean, it was like the whole idea is that it was very early on in the rewrite. Like they did so much work on like the world gen, and
Yes,
a lot
you
of the
played
systems
1.18.
weren't quite there. Okay, so we did that, and
Yeah, there's been a lot. They did use a lot of our input for doing some of the some major changes to some of the stuff. So yeah.
Cool.
Oh, so they even did redo world gen between 1.8 and 120.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like-
Well, I mean,
sounds
that's
like a
basically,
lot of work.
honestly, that's a lot of what TFC has become. It's all about the world gen, and honestly, they do a really good job of it. Do it.
I mean, because like I think like literally for 1.18, it was like all of the work was going into perfecting that, and then to imagine that it's then being like completely redone between 1.8 and 120 is like even crazier, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how they're gonna change. I'm like, this is my idea. It's like I'm gonna need to see how 120 feels before like deciding what I want to like mod in, because like I might not need to mod things if things are like better. Like if there's like some cool systems already in place, that means I don't need to, like, if a thing I added is now like resolved with the base game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but a lot of the times they leave stuff for like
If
they won't
something
do
does it
chisel because
better-
chisels already does it better. Some type of stuff.
Hi, I have an important question for chest mod on back thing. How remove?
Just
Yeah,
hold
you can
shift right
start
click
the air.
again. You should just it should just pop back into your hands once you do that.
You should go
you
watch the 1.18 VODs for sulfuring about bad game design.
I am shift right clicking and it is not.
While you're like pointing into the air.
And you're holding shift.
And I got
and you're
so
holding
mad
right
at
click.
1.18. I hate
Did not
I
work-
hate saying
not
it, but
working.
I will. But that was the worst season we had.
Is your offhand
unfortunately.
empty?
Oh,
What-
yeah.
Can't
That
get worse.
actually, no, I think-
Offhand, the offhand.
there we go.
bug.
Yeah, my offhand. needed to be
You gotta
empty.
have
Yeah.
both hands empty in order.
You also stayed too far north. That was part of what made it a bad run. Yes, yeah. The staying too
were
far
in-
north was part of it.
I mean, I feel like it's a common theme that we find up in like Canada usually, but that was like extra Canada.
Yeah, it's
It's-
so much of a theme for us that I actually mentioned it to Pac beforehand.
Well,
and
you
that's
guys
also-
gotta stop me.
Well,
I don't
but you
see.
also
There,
were
here's the
like-
thing. I don't want to park too far south and make it like
yeah, you're like
smooth,
it's too
smooth,
easy
like,
if you
make
go
it like cool
south.
runnings. You know, just spend the whole time and just basking in the sun. The
Having a
farm
good
works all
time,
year
it's so
round.
horrible, yeah.
Nothing is ever a problem. Then there's like nothing to do, and you just
Yeah.
all the food just lasts. I mean, there's no reason to worry about making the food last forever because it's just going to be another harvest around the corner. I don't want to do that because there's no negative to being too far south. And Vintage Story hasn't figured out how to make a negative too far south either. And there's no negative. And there's no
mean,
positive for being too far north. So,
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
I mean-
less plants whenever you
There is like
overheat.
there are like the temperature mods, but I think those are always kind of relegated to mods and not vanilla. Well, actually,
yeah,
no,
but
vanilla
they
TFC
always
a
go
while
too
ago.
far with that. And it's really
think-
hard to find the balance. And honest, the
vanilla-
temperature, there's got to be something other than temperature that really is the reason for, like,
No, because it was
South and
wasn't,
north and-
wasn't it that like even old vanilla TFC did at a point have like heat stroke, and I remember it was like not the worst. It was like mostly like just don't run out of water.
there's got to be. Well, I think that the reason not to be too far south. I mean, man, it's so hard to just come up with things to make it bad.
Yeah.
Outside of making it too hot to like be happy, but there's no happiness gauge. So you know.
How about you get sunburned.
But now is that too far?
I don't know.
Because it would happen all the
more hot-
time.
the more hot you get, the more your game lags.
Your computer overheats. Yep.
Yeah, that's totally not too far. Too bad. Thank you for subscribing, Wolf Fan and
Absolutely
Burning
not.
Shadow.
But like I don't know, maybe it could be like yeah, how about what if you had like droughts and like it like messed up your crops and stuff. So your crops got messed up in a different way.
I
But
don't
you see
need that.
my
I think-
issue. I don't want to. I just it's hard to find that sweet spot to live without having half the time we're on be winter.
I don't need
And
to deal with
honestly, when we
drought.
found
I
that
wanna deal
location,
with
it was
drought.
It was
Go ahead.
nice and flat. It had an unusual look to it. It was a good looking spot to start with. And then we lived there, and it sucked. Everything about that location just sucked.
Which one was this again?
The last TFC, when we lived in the swamp, the mud, everything was mud.
I thought it was also always winter too, though. Is the other?
It was winter like 9 months out of the year. Yeah.
So
But
that was
it didn't
just-
start
and
winter.
The swamp did suck. Yes, the swamp did
Yes.
suck also. Yeah. And I think that's also why I'm curious if they changed much about it. But one of my first proposed items for my theoretical mod is gonna be a snow shovel, and the idea is you just it like takes out a large swath of snow, and it also scoops up all the ground cover, because the issue was you'd break a snow block and then a ground cover block would pop up in its place, and then you'd have to
Yeah.
break that too.
Oh,
And I'm
and
just
you
like,
remember
please
the
let me clear
horses?
this land.
Remember
Oh,
the
the horses were
horses?
just broken. They were broken.
Yeah.
They get stuck.
So, I found a very weird interaction
Between.
between the support beams and chiseled blocks. When you place a support beam with the start on a chiseled block, it actually becomes part of that chiseled block and can no longer be removed.
Oh, that's weird.
That's-
Wait, no, is
that
it?
seems
is
that
it-
seems less than ideal.
So what happens when you like break the chisel block, or like?
It goes with it.
Oh, that's really weird.
Either that or this is purely a visual bug, but I would need someone else to help me test that out.
So
Someone
you can
else
still-
wrote a walking cane mod. Rope bridges, traps, and snowshoes are still not done.
Rope bridges, hopefully I can port in. I was very happy with my rope bridges. I like did some fancy math on those to get them. I can probably port those over if like I can probably at least reuse like the algorithm and the models and stuff. Then the rope ladders were great. I mean, I'm sure other people will have them, but I could put them back in the mod for sure.
Are we talking about things we like to see?
Sure, if you have
Mod pack?
ideas.
Thaumcraft. I don't care that it's 12,000 versions old. Put it in there.
Sure.
There's other
I
magic. There's
know.
other magic
The
mods that
Voyage.
are
I know.
just about as good as Thaumcraft
Voyage.
now. Honestly,
I know.
I think
it's
Thaumcraft was like
it's an old joke.
Lodge. Okay, tell me if you see this.
Huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna take it over. So we-
The joke being that I like Thaumcraft so much, I just wanted it everything.
Do you see that?
it is fun. I love
Even
Thaumcraft. Was great.
even when I had zero idea.
So you do
Yeah,
see
it looks like it is clipping through. Yeah.
No, that's how they work, but the idea is you
Right.
can't break the support beam because you break the block instead.
Yeah.
Right.
And the
I know.
support beam is part of it, and I can't. It actually now I'm curious because there's a turn option.
Yeah. Well, I also remember that with Thaumcraft, every time I would start it up again, I would make the traveling trunk, and I would call him Little Buddy, and
Mhm.
I would just add a number to the end of it. So I think I got up to like Little Buddy 5 at one point.
Oh,
How do you rotate with the chisel?
Press F and switch it to the rotating mode.
Yeah, and then you just right click.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not actually working. I have broken.
You did rotate it. You probably were you looking from the bottom? You didn't see the block on the top rotate.
Is that what it is? Okay. So the
But hold
block is
on,
rotating, but this is still stuck in the same.
If you did
orientation.
this and like freed up the spot that the guy was hanging out at, like, because normally you can break this end of the support beam, right? But there's just
Yeah.
nothing there to break. So yeah, I think he's just like merged. I don't think he's his own block anymore. It's weird.
Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah, so not just me.
I'm pretty sure that vanilla TFC won't have accounted for this possibility, so this is definitely going in my mod. Well, actually, I'm hoping vanilla TFC still has the rats that eat your food. But if they do, I am adding to my mod the ability to tame the rats and pick them up and throw them at people.
Are you gonna add a?
Okay.
Are you gonna add a rat cage to catch them?
Sure, yeah, probably like a little, like a very nice, humane no-kill trap. You'd put it down, and then like the rat would like get caught in it, and then you can you can get the rat. Oh, you can get a familiar rat too. Oh, that would be exciting.
I wonder who that could possibly be.
Okay. I better look for that in the code as well and make that a specific thing you can tame as well.
Tame the rat. That does sound pretty cool, though. I
They-
can't wait to see that.
And like there's like a meme image of like a guy being like, like it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, and then he just like is holding out his hand, and there's like a rat flying towards the camera. That's what I'm going for. Or like I'm also thinking of like another meme video where a person was like just walks up to like a rat in like a pile of trash and picks him up and is like, "You're my friend now. We're having tacos tonight." And just takes him. Yeah, you can just take rats. Just pick them up.
I was gonna say your rental picture. I was like thinking, I'm like, is he talking about Minsk and Boo?
Oh, so someone I don't know what that's from, but I saw someone pointing out a comparison image about how those characters were just that meme. Like every promotional image of those characters were just like him, and the rat was flying towards the camera.
Yeah, that's Minsk and Boo. Baldur's Gate, by the way. So for anyone who doesn't know where they come from, that is the original characters from the original game. They've been in. Oh, I know. Well, it's been long enough. Spoilers out. They're in all.
I saw that. I didn't remember their names until you mentioned that, but I remember seeing a post that was like, "Everyone notice how this is just this picture," and it was like the guy throwing the rat.
Yeah.
Which is good. So yeah, those are the snow shovel throwing rats. I probably would re-add rope bridges, rope ladders. I'd like to maybe do it depending on how the gem situation is. Maybe gem displays. Could do. Like the snowshoes could still work, although the walking stick is like, I think that is just a really good idea. Like just have you hold it and then you have all terrain speed boost through stuff that is annoying to walk through.
Hold the walking stick. Acquire all-wheel drive.
Exactly. What other thing? I mean, I made bear traps. They were like useless, but fun to prank people with. But like people kind of hated getting pranked with them. So like, I mean, I'm sure like someone somewhere had fun with them. So maybe.
Yeah, don't mention that to Ian.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I played with them a bit, but like they kind of were like actually a bit too dangerous to prank people with. They do a lot of damage.
It sound like they would.
Yeah, they should. They're bear traps. And like in the specific, like they were really evil too. You could place them, and obviously you get snapped up by them. But I decided to add the ability to partially bury them, so you can barely see them.
Was that an
Need a bear trap mod for Bear Apocalypse. Yeah.
That would have, yeah. Oh, and specifically, I made bear traps work worse on bears, because the idea is the bear trap is like when a bear steps on it, it's gonna try to break out of it. So if a bear was in the bear trap, it would have a random chance to break out of it because it's not supposed to be like a 100% foolproof solution. So they were actually worse, specifically if you use them on a bear. I did do I think the snare traps, which were the bear traps cousins, those ones were actually nice. They caught small animals, and you could actually bait them to kind of like simulate spawning in like extra animals. So if you didn't have like a good food source, you could spend some grain to get a little bit of small animals.
Okay, what other kind of fruits can we make into?
And I might do sharpening if they didn't have any sort of, if they haven't added anything like that in vanilla. Although they did mention they kind of want to do something like that, so.
Actually, I'm still kind of surprised at how the tools have not really changed a lot between all these mods or all these games. I just want things to. Why are? Has nobody learned from the last Legend of Zelda that tool durability sucks?
Well, I mean,
at the very least, it should feel like it lasted a stupid long time, and maybe the handle breaks or something.
mm-hmm.
It still bothers me. I beeped. Why did I beep? Oh.
And I saw like I've seen some some analyses on how like for like the Zelda, the tool durability is kind of necessary to make that game possible, even though it kind of sucks. But
yeah, what Zhao said in my chat, tool durability is the main reason I don't play either of the last two Zelda games. Yeah, same. I've heard so much great about it. I can't get that out of my head. It was stated on the Gym Inquisition on Monday, and he's said this before. Nobody likes the idea of being in the middle of a boss fight and your sword break. That's not fun.
yeah, it's I think without it, like the idea is you need it only because you have so many like places where the player can receive a reward, and they just decided the reward that we're giving to the player is just more weapons. But like because that, and the only reason is because they keep breaking. But like other than that, they're like we don't have like unique rewards we can put in all of these thousands of dungeons.
Didn't the Master Sword break?
It is.
Okay, now
it breaks,
that
and
that
then
doesn't make any freaking sense.
It breaks but recharges on its own. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
No, that's still stupid. That's really, really stupid. That shouldn't be that the mechanic is so ingrained in the game that the benefit of the best weapon you can possibly get is that it's the one that repairs itself. You're focusing way too much on that mechanic at that point.
But I mean, but like I guess you have to be like when you get it, then it's like you don't have to play the rest of the game if it didn't break, because then you're like, I never need to open a chest again because it would just have a useless weapon now. And I mean, I'm not saying it's the best solution. It's just that what other ideas would you have to like give the player loot with?
Usually, in a game, as you progress through the game, you get a better weapon, and then you don't use the last one until you get the best weapon, and then you stick with that one.
And usually you don't do that until near the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah, and once again,
ergo, like every Final Fantasy ever.
I mean, I guess it's like you could be like, all right, so in like, well, but there's like you can do like 1 million miniature dungeons in like any order. And you're gonna be like, okay, so dungeon number 1 will give you a sword with 1 damage. Dungeon number 2, we give you a sword with 2 damage, and like you just want plus 1 damage every time you like find a treasure chest. But like, can you just keep doing that, or are you gonna like are you gonna allow the player to go out of order? And
First
get,
of all,
really
you are forgetting something very basic, Liach. There's more to weapons than just damage. There's so many stats that you can play with to make it so that one weapon is better than another for different situations. You can go for anything from attack speed to reach to the damage, whether it's bludgeoning, whether or not it's slashing, whether or not it has any type of enchantments on it that do various things to various creatures. You can make it some that are burning, some that are ice, some that have poison damage, some that explode in their face when you use them if you use them for too long. There's 1,001 ways to make some real. You can make ones that are stupid slow, but you're like swinging a giant rock.
So the first thing is like that is valid, and it's also like extra efforts is the other thing.
Yes. Oh no, they might have to put effort into their game design.
But but it's they put so much effort into like making such a huge world, and like it's a problem for like all massively open world games. You have to at some point cut corners somewhere, or your game's never gonna
But that's not cutting a corner. That was a design choice. It was a bad design choice.
I think it was a design choice that made it allowed them to like focus on other parts. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it. Like there are other games that have handled it different ways, but like I also wouldn't even
like
know
all of them.
Well,
all of the overworld. The only problem is that now some games are imitating Zelda, which is a bad plan for that particular part.
I mean, like I've done like a lot of like internal analysis about like different open world games. I would say most of them are kind of bad now. Like they're all way too like copy paste. Like it's like you do so much exploring and you get like just like very predictable rewards. It's like you're gonna get every time you visit waypoint A, you're gonna get like +1 attack damage. Every time you visit waypoint B, you're gonna get +1 max HP, and you just do that until there's no more waypoints on the map left. And like
okay, well that's one type of game. There's so many types of games out there, Lige. You can't say that that's like the game. Everyone has their gimmick. And Zelda did so many really smart things, but to just kind of take the weapons and just like make you hate them. That was such a if it's a mechanic you enjoy, I don't get it. I will defend you to be able to enjoy what you enjoy, but don't knock like the rest of the world who are like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, I won't like 100% defend it, but I think the game is good enough despite the mechanic, and I think they did enough other things right that I would forgive it.
It's just such a huge part of the game, though.
I don't know, like it's like when you play it, it's more so like you're kind of just like you'll have like more than enough weapons, like because the game just throws plenty of disposable weapons at you. It's what the loot is.
Well, it's like playing Minecraft, except you can only use wooden picks. Could you imagine playing Minecraft with only everything else about the game is Minecraft, and everything else that developed along the times, and it's like maybe modded or whatever, and so on and so forth. But you only get wooden picks for mining in Minecraft.
My question for that would be, if the game started that way and stayed that way, would you?
Then people would get. I think people would get frustrated with how crappy the picks are. And if they chose to keep that as a mechanic without altering it, then I think that's the developer's fault. And everybody would have Minecraft would not have been the one that blew up.
I think their reasoning is because of the build mechanic and everything.
Hold on.
It gives them a point to do it.
And it's cold and the wind is blowing and I couldn't stand it.
Sorry, I have to move.
You didn't enjoy it at all, huh?
It was so cold out, I didn't want to get out, but it was too cold to stay in.
Why was it only 96?
Uh-oh.
It's still doing this range thing, and it looks like Pop's also added some water. He commented on Saturday the water's getting low, and the water's not low now, so you didn't know that?
Before you get in next time, ask Dad what he did to it.
I'm gonna double check.
Yes, double check with him every time. You took a cold bath, hon.
Outside with a cold
Although honestly, 96 still sounds pretty warm to me. I'd be like horrified and hate it. No, I don't like the hot tub. I am not a hot tub person. I don't like submerging in general. So
I'm somewhat temperature sensitive, so like I can go in them, but it gets really ridiculous. Like during the summertime, I usually have to sleep with the fan on, because even like a light sheet sometimes is like too much. So
yeah, I feel you.
Also, we've been joined by my cat. She's here.
Okay.
She was on stream. She was on the stream a moment ago, but not now because she's on her blanket, which I left. I left beside my desk and I couldn't find her, and I was worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, where'd she go? I don't know where she is. And I looked at, and my girlfriend was like, did you check her blanket? And I'm like, no, but I should. And sure enough, that's where she was. Right next to me the whole time. She snuck in without me knowing.
Zelda Wind Waker didn't have any durability, right?
I mean, okay, and now when
game.
you compare the like open world ones to the past ones, it's like not even really a comparison at this point. Just saying because like okay, so like in like each one of the classic ones, you're gonna have like maybe like a handful of temples, and each temple's going to give you like your next gadget that like does stuff that you need to progress. But like when you can like go anywhere and you have like thousands of chests to open, if every chest contained an item vital to your progression, I mean that is just like impossibly complex, obviously. You just can't like make every thousand of chests have
so
something
your solution
that will
is to make me juggle dozens of different weapons and to see which one is not breaking right now.
I mean, it is
Randomizer.
kind of, yes.
That doesn't sound. That is not a better solution, Liosh.
I'm not saying no. It's not. I'm just saying why it wouldn't be possible. I'm saying, but like, well, what would you?
People would
suggest?
get bored of getting grade. It's another chest of bombs.
You can't be like, you can't just. I mean, it would be like, let me tell you. Don't get me wrong. It would be amazing if you were like, just like exploring a massive open world, and like all of a sudden you just found the hook shot, and you're like, what the heck? This completely changes my life. And if like every other chest had like a life-changing item in it, you'd be like, whoa, this is so cool. This would be the game of the century. But you just can't do that. You can't make every chest life-changing.
Randomizer.
You played other games, man. For instance, Final Fantasy, I believe it was 6 or 7, did Materia, where you not only had the weapons that you got, but you can upgrade the weapons by finding different materia in the world to attach to it. And every time you find a different materia, that's like different spells and different things that you can attach to it. And different weapons would have different numbers of slots that you can do. So your upgrades to the weapons are the numbers of slots. And that maybe the weapon itself isn't good, but the amount of materia is good. And so on and so forth. But that's just one example.
Would you say that that game is like Zelda anymore? Do you think it is in the spirit of Zelda to have you min-maxing?
Do you really think Zelda couldn't have introduced instead of okay? I don't think it's like Zelda anymore when they add durability, but I think that they could have added a different type of tool thing where if they wanted to do that, they could. It didn't have to be materia. It could have been like, I don't know, fairy poo. Fairy poo, that various different fairy poos are going to do different things to your weapons.
I'm not saying plagiarizing. I'm not saying they're plagiarizing Final Fantasy. I'm saying, is it in the spirit of Zelda to actually have like expect the player to be like min-maxing their damage stats?
But it's not in the spirit of Zelda to take the entire thing and now all the tools have durability.
And you're right. It did completely change the way Zelda is.
So then change it in a better way.
Well, but like I'm just like the idea of like what Zelda is and what people wanted with the linear kind of Zeldas. It's just like not going to happen in the open world, and they just kind of they've done something different, and it's not. I mean, it's certainly not everyone's favorite, but like
No,
I
it's
think
not.
like
And I think
they
it
just-
turned off. I think
I don't
when you have a
know
game
how-
that incredible and that has that many good things going for it, and there's still people who refuse to play it for one mechanic, that's not a good mechanic.
The rough
You have
part
done
is,
something wrong.
Game companies always have to do that decision thing between, do we make the same thing or do we try to innovate?
Yeah. And
Okay,
I
but
don't
when they
think-
when they
This
did
time,
went and
they
did like a
innovated
part.
a lot of stuff. It's just that one.
They
kind
did a lot
stuff.
of things, and clearly many people were like, this isn't what I wanted anymore. But on
But
the other
they
hand, a lot of people
doubled
were like,
down on it on the next version.
I mean, 'cause
They had a
people did
part 2
actually-
and doubled down and did it again.
I mean, people it
It's
did
'cause
kind
it
of
was
like
a
it.
part
They did
2.
it did kind of do really well, and they were like, yeah,
I'm
it's
just
actually-
worried that the next when they do the next Zelda, they're going to
and-
be like, oh well, durability is now
Well,
a thing.
Yeah, I've kind of got bad news for you because they kind of have sort of said like this is the direction Zelda is taking. in
Well,
the
screw it.
future.
I'm not playing Zelda anymore then.
Yeah, you might not be.
Yep,
Um,
people will decide with their
But, like,
money
I'm just, like,
whether they want
saying-
it or not.
I think like the thing
There's
here
so many
is
other
not-
games out there that are Zelda-ish that I can play. I don't have to play Zelda. There's other ones. There's other games that have Zelda-ish qualities that are that maybe they're not as refined and polished as a Nintendo property that spend many years on it, but there's a lot of them that are still really freaking good. I don't need to play Zelda. There's options now.
Yeah, I mean,
And
but they're,
I'm not
they're
gonna.
necessarily.
They're not that's a horrible mechanic, and I'm not touching it.
I don't think they're necessarily trying to like. I mean, they're just trying to like make a game that's like popular in the modern era. They're not necessarily trying, but like also if like so you take what makes Zelda. If you were to say like I want this game to feel exactly like Zelda, but I also want it to like be like completely open world, or I want to introduce such a huge change into it. Like, how do you maintain the way the original game feels whilst also completely transitioning the almost entire port? And I think it's
They could have
ridiculously
done-
difficult.
If they had done nothing to the weapons or anything at all, and they just put the game back together the way that if they made the exact same game and did nothing with the weapons, it would be a better
I think
game.
it would be. I think it would have been broken. I think it would be like you'd find like in your first 5 chests 5 swords, and then you'd have those 5 swords for the rest of the game, and every other chest
Until
would be
you
nothing.
find a better sword.
And I mean, like, well, but you wouldn't be finding better swords because they only made like a total of 10 levels of sword. There's like an iron sword, and then like once you
Uh-huh.
progress enough, they'll start spawning.
You could
like,
also find things in
steel
chests
swords.
other than swords.
Yeah, like
Swords aren't the only things in chests.
Well, yeah, okay, like what?
Arrows, money, bombs.
Okay,
As
well, I
cosmetic
can
items.
assure you,
Uh,
I can assure you, there are no shortages of arrows.
Fishing
and
ingredients
bombs.
ingredients for making things.
I can assure you, all of that is also in the. There are so many chests in the game. There's plenty of crafting materials, arrows, bombs that
Uh-huh.
they give to you as rewards. These are in addition to still having to give you
You're-
a huge supply of weapons.
You're talking in a circle, man. You were just
No.
talking in a circle about, well, what else are they going to put in the chest? Dude, they can find things to
Well,
put
no,
in
no,
the
no, no.
chest!
I'm saying this is after supplying you with materials and regular consumables, they still don't have enough. Like, this is after they've done that. They're like, we
And
still
they can
have more
introduce a
chests to
mechanic
fill.
that lets them do that. I already
Okay,
gave
just
you,
completely-
off the top of my head, I gave you one.
Wait,
It's
wait,
not
what
hard.
did-
Put fairy poo.
Well, no, fairy food, like for like.
You smash the fairy poo onto your sword to make it shine a different shine. Maybe this is a burning fairy poo.
Okay,
there's,
but like,
there's so many ways. I mean, this is off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure Nintendo can think of things outside of
They-
everything breaks.
there's a lot of things in the game that are in addition to the weapons. Like they filled it up with.
Well,
as
then
much
they
as
could have made the
could.
weapons like those.
They did.
No, they didn't. They made them break, and we all hated it.
Well, no, it's like. It's
Except
just like,
you loved it.
I didn't love it, but okay,
Well, you're
no, it's-
defending it really hard.
Do you expect the player
It's okay to say they tried something new, and some people didn't like it. Some people were okay with it, but I'm pretty sure most people were not. Oh, great!
I mean, the
This
game
makes
is-
the game better, other
it
than
is-
the developers.
I mean, no, I think it was a way to make the game possible, as I've said.
Don't say possible, Liaj. I'm sorry, but you can't say possible. There are way too many variables to a game, way too many ways to make a game, way too many mechanics that you can use from hundreds of different games.
I think it's
that can be a different
design
mechanic to
decision.
say that it's not possible to make the game unless the stuff
not
breaks.
possible, but it was a viable way. It wasn't like
Firedale wants to look at the stairs.
I think this situation. I think if you had a better solution, I think if you
I
could
gave you one.
No. I think if you did this, congratulations, you've made like game of the century. I think if you could come up with a solution. No. I think the way that you're saying it, I think it wouldn't necessarily be as easy as you think. I think it wouldn't be as easy as you think.
No, but I'm not paid by Nintendo to figure that out. That's what they do. And they didn't.
Yeah, and
they went with breaking crap, and they thought that was the solution to their problems, and I don't like that solution.
No.
It was a bad solution.
They thought about it. I can assure you, they have smart people over there that have thought of ideas.
And they made a bad choice.
No. I think they may have thought through these ideas a bit more than we have, and as much as they might have wanted to.
No, that's not how this stuff works. You don't understand how this stuff works. How this works is somebody who is in charge of this stuff insisted that this is the mechanic.
No, I
Absolutely insisted.
They do so much play testing. They do so much like internal.
That doesn't
play
matter
testing.
when you have somebody who is in charge, who is the voice of the creator, the person who does this thing. That actually looks really good, Firedale.
Thank you.
You cannot manage.
I'm pretty sure
that's management. That's creators. When they have their word, then their word is God. You can't.
No.
You can't dispute it because they know better.
I agree.
You then have to bend the mechanic around your game to make it work.
There are cases that people will, like executives will be like, the game needs to have this, and it'll ruin the game.
It works with executives, and it also works with creators. And I think that one of the creators, and they usually make great decisions on a lot of things, but whatever creator, and I bet it's like the head creator who really wanted that mechanic in the game, made a bad decision, and I didn't, and it was a bad idea.
Setting out to be like, I want to add this because everyone's gonna hate it. This is gonna. Want this.
He thought that they would like it, and he was wrong.
No,
he likes the mechanic. That doesn't matter if we like the mechanic. He likes the mechanic.
No, like some of these decisions that seem bizarre may have arisen because they were like, okay, we're trying all of these ideas during playtesting, we're like, how are we trying to keep the player engaged? How are we trying to provide the player with meaningful loot? And they might have tried multiple ideas. Maybe they tried fairy poop, but maybe the weapon durability just happened to be the one that provided the best results. It might not have been their favorite solution, but it might have provided the best
results. And their playtest group might have just been a very
maybe their playtesters sucked. Maybe they just had the worst playtesters, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that there was just like one person that was like, I think this is the idea. It's gonna ruin the game, but it has to happen.
Now I want to look it up. Hold on. Okay.
Thank you for the comment on the stairs. I think it is officially done over there now. And you should be able to go up and down it, Lodge. Can you test to make sure?
Where are your stairs? Oh, the thing. These are some fancy stairs. Well done,
I'm
Fairdale.
pretty sure the machine can go up and down it.
Really cool stairs.
And the fact that you're
Now I just need to place the last two things, and it'll be done. But I can't do that with y'all in town.
Wait, are you doing particles?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or I want to, I might not.
You reading the chat, by the way, Liage?
Yeah.
I mean, mine, of course, because I can read that one.
Yeah. Wait, what are we looking at?
I
What
agree with
Wolf and Burning Shadow was saying.
I mean, yeah, the whole world did play Breath of the Wild, and it kind of was like their best-selling game, like ever. So yeah, they did kind of double down.
And
on
yet
that
they
for
still
that
have
reason.
people who refuse to play it. They could have done.
I
They
mean,
could
I
have
don't
gotten
know,
even
like-
more people.
Maybe it's a vocal minority. You're pretty vocal.
I happen to be.
I think the majority of the things online also mentioned that even in the reviews, the game is great, but so I think a lot of people agree that the game would have been better without it. But there's
But
also
like
the
once
thing
again,
of we
it's like
don't know.
when you have without it, it's like come up with a solution that makes the game still feel the way that it feels.
That's what I mean. Is it makes you wonder? You know, if the game didn't have it, would people have started getting bored with stuff quicker? Would it have actually
think-
gotten the good reviews?
Yeah,
and all
I mean,
that? So
I think
it's
like
hard to
it's
take
like
that into
you-
account because you
it
don't
is
know.
really difficult. I think. I
Yeah.
think. I'm just saying, like, once again, not defending it. I'm just saying it is coupled with the game's identity at this point. If you removed it, you'd have a completely
Better.
different experience. Maybe it'll be better in some ways. Might be better in some ways. Might
It
lack
might be better,
replayability.
But it
Maybe
people might
it
also
maybe
start
in a
hating it
short
because it's too easy.
experience it would be better. It could be considered easier.
It's
it
hard to
could
tell
be-
without that game being made.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I don't actually know the answer. It's just like it's a variable that when you
I
change,
understand
you
that you really, really like the game, and I understand that you learned to live
like
with the mechanic. That's
and like
okay.
no, I mean like really the main thing I'm thinking here is like when we're talking about open world games, I've been considering like doing some like video essay content about like open world games. If we're talking about like good ones, Breath of the Wild and like Tears of the Kingdom, they're like the only ones that have gotten it right out of like three. Like them and like two other games are the only ones that are good. The rest of them have all completely lost the plot with how an open world game needs to be. And I think there's like there's like two games that I think
All
do
of
it better.
them?
Yes, like we're talking like I don't know, like Assassin's Creed number 57.
Dark
That's
Souls
like-
had weapon durability.
And Shrouded.
Valheim. Okay. Survival crafting open world is a completely different beast. That is a
That's
different.
not what you
beast.
said.
Okay.
You
we're
said open
talking
world
like,
game.
We're talking AAA. We're talking like.
Oh, I don't care about AAA
um,
games. I care about games that I enjoy.
Oh,
Indie
okay.
games are a game too.
While you two
Yeah.
hubbies argue, I need to go. You two have
Okay.
a good night.
Yeah, good night, Firedale.
And I Firedale. I haven't said
Hey, Firedale.
anything
Turn
like
me on.
I haven't said
Yeah,
anything
Nihon's
like
been
10
scared.
minutes.
I know.
I hope I'm not-
Literally
Oh, at
been
least 10
sitting here
minutes.
Terrified.
We've been
I
going
really
for. We went. That was a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I'm not sounding like I'm becoming like a monster or something.
Oh, it's too late for
You're
that.
good.
It's too late for. You're already talking about.
You
I
have
need to make
defended the
long-form
weapon
YouTube
durability.
Content
You
based
are
on
I
my
dead.
do. I
preference.
have a YouTube channel. I've been making videos.
Lia's just slowly becoming
have?
the internet
Yes.
villain.
Well, I only make videos about Monster Hunter right now, but like I'm going to be doing like I've been planning on a video where I talk about
Analysis.
how open world needs to improve in like the next games that are coming out.
I'm just teasing
Well,
the
that's
crap
not
out of you.
hard though. I mean, there's so many good indie games that have done it right.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think like it's a specific genre I'm looking for. I'm not looking for. I think indie open world survival crafting
I know what
is
you're
great.
talking about. The AAA games that are as expansive as an ocean, but as deep as a puddle.
Yeah, and no. What I really am looking for is a game that gives you like a sense of exploration, in that like you just like go out and you don't know what you're gonna find, and like you actually feel like you're like adventuring. And like those games I think are very rare. Like especially like if it's survival crafting, then really the world isn't really there to explore. It's just a sandbox.
The problem with AAA sphere is that their focus is on making a game that looks good first, that has a story second, and then the gameplay is third, because that's that's what's going to sell the game, and that's what they could sell to their investors.
No, and I think most of them are kind of just like a little bit of like a sludge of like it can be kind of fun, but like
there's a reason I don't touch AAA on this channel. There's a big reason.
I think there's like a few games that actually do. They are AAA, but I think they actually do the thing right.
I think AAA is a curse word to me now. I don't like AAA games. There's very few AAA games that I consider worthy of playing.
Like
very
what I would say what the few things that do it right would probably be like the closest to doing that thing right is like Breath of the Wild, as much as it sounds horrible at this point. There's Breath of the Wild, there's like Elden Ring. Elden Ring does it right. And then like a couple others that aren't.
I knew Elden Ring was going to come into it.
Mm-hmm.
It has to. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, the other recent example
I haven't played it.
I
don't know if I can. I can't find the time to play that game, but I've heard so much good about it. I wish I could get around to that one.
You should play it at some point. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to like slot it into like if you ever finish one of your big things, you could like try to do that. Like maybe Vault Hunters will eventually end.
At this point, Vault Hunter's going to end, and I'm going to come back and do it again in multiplayer.
Yeah, fair enough.
It'll come out with the next version, and it's time for round 2.
But like what I'm really like been craving is just like a game that you like just go out and wander and like get lost, and you just like run across all kinds of adventures, and like you find yourself in like scary situations. You don't like quite know what, or you just like might wander into a cave and not know what's going to be in there. You find something really cool, which by the way Zelda will fail at because they don't have meaningful loot. But I mean, like, I still think like it did a good enough job with like providing like unique encounters occasionally. I think Tears of the Kingdom did a little better because they had like caves that were like a bit more unique, or like but it's always like you're always like seeing something like cool around the corner, as opposed to the whole everything you need to do is marked on your map and you just go visit every place in order and you get +1 HP or +1 attack at every other encounter. I think that is just the sludge. But if you're like just walking and you don't know what's gonna happen, that's like really cool.
So you mean like Baldur's Gate and Enshrouded and Valheim, you know, the games that just did it right recently?
Baldur's Gate, I guess you could say, is kind of like that, aside from the format.
Every time you go to do something, you find a new place. I mean, we were just wandering around the city and found a haunted house, and we had to leave in the middle of the haunted house.
No, you're completely right. I never considered that because of the format, but Baldur's Gate is really just kind of like almost like an open world-ish, and then like there is just you go out and do stuff, and yeah, I love when there's a lot of like bespoke content to find.
The problem with open world is a lot of the open world they just kind of create the world and they don't put anything in it. They need to. You need to. They make when they make a smaller world and they like actually focus on making good content for each individual bit.
The reason it's so rare is because the larger you make the world, the harder it is to fill it with content. No, that's why it is so hard, and why.
But one of the selling points for developers is how big the world is, and that's what they use as a selling point.
and like, and he says, then like a developer will like tell you that their world has X amount of square miles in it, and
and they think that this is like a good thing that's going to sell the game, and a lot of times
you need a smaller world that is more dense is almost always better. Just like you got to kind of balance it so you still feel like the world is big. No, I actually seeing in the chat saying person saying they still play Skyrim. I think Skyrim's actually a good one. I think they did one of the better ones. And the way that they got around it, there's a lot of sort of copy-pasted dungeon designs, but it's like they did their best to make like unique content. Like there'd be. You're
right. I did get bored of this. Every time you went into a dungeon in Skyrim, it felt samey after a while. I will admit that I got bored of Skyrim, but
Fallout is kind of like that too. But there's aesthetical reasons for that because it's a certain feel for the world.
Yeah. You know. Like, and really, that's just a limitation. Obviously, you can't handcraft every single thing in the world, but, like, you can tell that at least everything had, like, a little hand touch. Like, one dungeon might have, like, an NPC in it that has a miniature story that you were going to follow along with in that dungeon. Some dungeons are going to have, like, a little bit of extra lore. And, like, so, if only they could do that, but, like, more fleshed out. But obviously, you're asking for, like, a game that was made over the course of 100 years to have all of that content, which is why. But I still think like they had the right idea with what they were doing.
The problem is you're just not gonna get that easily in the AAA space anymore because the focus of AAA is not on the game anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
it is a problem, and I mean like. That may like I guess
there's too many Bobby Koticks in the world, and there's not enough like good developers.
Yeah.
When the investors are running, when the people who are running the game just ran like some equity firm, and they just decided to move over to this place to start running that one because it's better. It's a better investment. And they know nothing about game development or care anything about it.
Honest. We can get like really, really pessimistic here. We can say that at this point, the only focus that the investors are putting in is what kinds of microtransactions can they rig up to their game to make it into an addictive.
And that's what most of them are looking into, yeah.
So like at this point, it's like if you're it just kind of if you want like a good AAA game, you're just kind of gonna have to like stare into the distance and be like,
if you want a good AAA game, you gotta look out of the AAA space at this point. You're just not gonna find good AAA games.
Anyways, Balatro.
It's 11.
Wow.
I'm not even saying that like because like it's a triple. No, it's not even close to AAA game. It's local thunk. He's doing it by himself.
What game?
The game is fantastic. It's
Balatro.
like it's such a good chill game. It's like
I'm sad because like I think I got really interested in it, but I watched like streamers play it for like 50 hours, and I feel like I've seen all of it now.
He is doing some updates and stuff in the future, and apparently there are people working on modding for it. So
if there's like more content on the way, I might actually try to pick it up then.
Right. I don't know if they'll add. I don't know if more Jokers and stuff will just like appear in future content updates, but like there's
if people like they can get invested enough in like modding.
Yeah.
You talking Suicide Squad?
No. It's a card game. It's like poker, and the way that but you also have a bunch of Joker cards in your hands that do things to you. That's the explanation's a bit complicated. But,
it's basically a math-based game, but wrapped up inside of like a poker sandwich wrap.
It's a roguelike.
Yes.
You make a poker hand, You get points based on how good your poker hand is, and then you can modify your deck by like adding and removing cards. Obviously, like random roguelike elements, you'll get different upgrades, and the upgrades come in the form of Joker cards that have stuff like heart cards are worth more points, or if you play a full house, you get ×2 points, and you just like combine ×2 plus 50 times 500 until you're like, oh my god, I played a poker hand and got 10 billion points. Wow. And that's how it goes.
Unfortunately, when someone says card game now, I'm card gamed out. There's been a thing for the past 10 years where every indie game goes down is it a card game or is it not a card game?
Deck builder.
It's
I'm so sick of deck building. I really am.
It is. It's very easy to pick up and play though. It's not like
that's me. That's me. I understand that a lot of people enjoy that mechanic, and you do you. I avoid anything where as soon as you say card game, my mind turns off.
I don't think I've really actually
anymore.
played a lot of deck builders. I like a lot of I played way too many Survivor likes recently. Any of the Vampire Survivor clones now.
Yes.
But I don't think I've played a lot of actual deck builders. I've watched a lot of people play them. Like all of the streamers I watch play far too many of them. But
same.
Maybe it's,
what's the best game? That's an interesting question in ASOS.
Right.
Best game, like in what genre, or just in general, or? Oof, that's a question.
Is it just like best game overall versus specific genre?
The best game of all time. I don't know.
Are we really asking that question?
I'm waiting to see if he meant that question. I'm waiting for it.
I don't know. He might have just been a little silly, but on the other hand, maybe. Yeah. Okay. He wants to hear you.
Just the best. Okay, I gotta think about this then.
I mean, I have like I probably have a favorite. I don't know if I can give you an objective answer here though.
Because
which maybe is the point.
I can get you to 5, but then it becomes very difficult because the five at the top of my list are all different genres, and they're all very well regarded for what they are.
When it comes to best game, I like to look at the game that gets the best value, and it's still Minecraft to me. Just,
I mean, like
the
that
game
is, like,
that you get the most out of it, and I could play with so many different mods in that. I think so many different versions of the game.
I think
just
that's
from
a
that
very
one
good
game.
answer.
It's hard to beat Minecraft. It really is.
It's a great answer unless you completely hate everything about like what you do in Minecraft. Like if there's people that are just like, I don't want to be creative. I don't want to like spend time on like building things or like optimizing things, like any of the technical stuff. Like if maybe you only play for like the action and stuff, you're probably not going to find a lot in Minecraft. But
but in that regard, so for some people, it's got to be a game that you will just be able to always play a different way if you tried it. Like another good example is Skyrim. Skyrim is also heavily modifiable.
Yeah,
and
modding makes Skyrim like from like a 6 out of 10 game into like a 10 out of 10 game.
So it's either got to be one like that, or it's got to be one that's, bear with me when I say live service, kind of. One that has continuous content that is continuously provided for it, that's good for a long period of time. For some people, that's a game like Hearthstone before they started to monetize the hell out of it. So it's got to be a game that either is modded like crazy in your style, or that they continuously add to in a positive way.
I guess the correct answer has to be Fortnite, because they actually it's like a game that at this point they've like added in like different games into it. So honestly, it's all of the different games at once. Therefore, it pleases everybody.
If you like
and is
that
the
type of game,
best. No, but it's like all of the games. They
but
have
I don't
like
like
a
gun.
game.
I'm not a gun game person. That's
you
kind of hard to
be.
really get past the part.
They have a rhythm. They have a Guitar Hero mode now. They have they have a Minecraft mode. They have a mode that is just like a survival game. You like build a village now, and It's Lego Fortnite, funnily enough. You actually, it is the Lego version of Fortnite. There's not much shooting in it. It has like
That sounds more
RPG
like to me
combat.
that sounds like a base of one game that can touch on other games, like a base of Minecraft that could do Fortnite. It could be a thing too.
Very facetious here. They just took the Fortnite engine and made more games in it as part of the package now. So if you play Fortnite, you get all of these other experiences.
Mhm.
They even like have I think,
And that's an example of one that's doing it right.
Yeah. Like you can make your own games as well. I think they have like developer tools now, kind of like what Roblox is. So you could say Roblox is one of the best games too.
So I think that, well, yeah, honestly, Roblox is so close to Minecraft to me. It's more like the other Minecraft.
I
hard
wouldn't
to
even
really
say that really. I think Roblox is like weird stuff. There's like it's not. It
But
doesn't
there's
have
so many mods in Minecraft that are just weird stuff.
Well, no, I mean, but like Minecraft at its base has like the whole like the mining and the crafting and stuff. Like Roblox at its base, I think is just a game engine that you can like make games out of.
Yeah, but I've played versions of Minecraft that don't really have mining that much. They do have crafting, or that don't have that much crafting. Where like Vault Hunters is an example. If they had done a little bit differently with Vault Hunters, it could have been like no mining or crafting at all if they really wanted to make it that way.
But if you were to play Roblox, what game would you be expecting to play? Just if you said, give me the most vanilla Roblox experience, what is that?
To be honest, I had never considered Roblox at all. I've not touched that one with it.
Me neither. I don't quite know what it is either. I just, from what I've seen of it, it's like you have the ability to build on a sort of game engine and produce whatever kind of game you want. But Minecraft, you could say, I want to play the base Minecraft, and you have a very defined experience for what that is. I think it's kind of different at this point. But no, I mean, I agree that they're both like have the same potential for what you can do with it. I mean, you know, my favorite game is the Unity game engine.
I think if you were going to say favorite game, I would say that the best way to answer that is your favorite 5 games, like you were saying before, like you two were saying before.
I can try to put together a favorite.
Every one of those 5 games needs to be a different genre that does that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite is one of them.
Challenge accepted. That's really easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So Minecraft,
Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario World has an end though.
F-Zero GX.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's saying his favorite games. And like,
you asked me what my favorite games were. Minecraft and fifth one. Actually, I would probably say Baldur's Gate 3.
I like Baldur's Gate 3. I've had too many glitches and issues to say it's like my favorite game ever. And I could see playing it like 2 or 3 more times, but I would not, unless they modified the hell out of it. I could not see playing it forever.
I do think I probably want to try out Divinity 2 at some point.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily fair to say like an objectively best game means you have to play it forever. You could like, what if you just like play it?
That's what I said. To me, that's the best game. It's got to have longevity.
I think a lot of people are like, maybe you could like play a game that lasts 40 hours and you say like, this experience changed my life so much that it'll live in my heart as the best thing I've ever experienced.
That's another way of looking at best game.
Yeah,
I understand that too, and there are games that are on that list. But to me, it's got. I'm all about value. I mean, there are games that I could say that was some really good, but to me, that's like a really good movie, and that just was a more like a 40-hour movie, which is good. But then when I'm done playing it, I'm not playing it anymore, and it's.
Yeah,
right.
It eventually fades into the distance.
Next week, we're going to debate what the greatest movie of all time is and get in a huge fight in the comments.
Now, don't worry. I know like so few movies that I'd just be like staring blankly. Like, yes, I agree. Yep. Let me think. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't. I mean, like, I think Minecraft would be in my top 5, and like for some of those reasons. But I don't know if like. Having to play it forever, it would be like all of my top 5 probably wouldn't be ones that you could play infinitely.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm at too. Like, could I play all of them forever? Yeah. Would I want to? Probably not. Just because
I would just like to have a
nature
list of like
of-
5 games you can switch between these 5 games forever and never run out. Never run out.
Yeah,
Of
I mean,
content.
like, I could that would definitely be like good things to have. Like, certainly,
Right.
like for people that are like, I just want to play stuff. That's like I mean, and some of those games are like going to be your best friend in that case.
I know a lot of people. I have this. I know this one. I want to say kid, but he's a young adult. He's not a kid. But I know him at church, and he's one of those people that will play a game until he's done, and then move on to the next game, just like a good portion of the general audience.
Yeah.
And I can understand that to some people that's how you play games. You don't.
I mean,
play
now
games
what
forever.
games
And I
is he
understand
playing
that.
until he's done is the thing.
Oh well, he does whatever's the most popular at the time, and he just like rotates
so is
through them
he
with
kind
his
of like
friends.
following like the Twitch meta, like Lethal Company, Among Us? Is he doing like that kind of stuff?
No, he's a AAA guy, and I can't.
So yeah, just playing like the hot game, like the next Call of Duty, the next Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm. What was
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What was the Iron Man clone game that crashed and burned?
Well, wait, do you mean like the just the Avengers game?
No. The Iron Man experience type game that crashed and burned. Someone in comments is going to come up with it.
There was an Iron Man game. Like, was it a VR game or something? Or...
No, the one where you just you fly
Anthem.
around. Anthem, yes.
Yep.
He's one of those guys that was like, "Oh, Anthem's so great. Anthem sucks. Anthem's so, and
No, okay. Yeah, I mean, and like there is a sort of difference in consumers. I would find like the people people like us that will have these types of debates about the sort of inherent value of a game. Like honestly, we're like in the huge minority. Like I think the vast majority of people will just like buy the hottest games to come out, play them for like 10 hours, and then play the next hottest game. I mean, there's people, I mean, especially like people that'll just be like playing like the sports games or like the Call of Duties. Definitely people that'll just like their experience with games or whatever AAA markets to them, and they'll just play that for a bit and then get bored, then move to the next. So
Anthem was really good
marketing song.
Really good marketing song. You know what's one of my favorite things about when they were talking about when they were looking at the aftermath of what they did to Anthem. One of my favorite things that they were talking about is they did a showcase one year. It was like a year before the game was coming out, and they were showcasing it, and the developers were watching the showcases like, wait, that's what we're making?
Oops. Yeah, some of that stuff can be very unfortunate. One thing that I always want to say is like developers, even the AAA ones, no one wants to make a bad game, but like sometimes they're just like, yeah, I had to do what the boss wanted me to do,
Right.
or just they might even be like,
They said
we
this
need
is-
more time for this, but they're not going to let us have more time, so we're
No.
going to have to drop this piece of garbage into the market.
No, this is,
Oh, that's something. That's
this is shipping in
more
3
often than you'd like to
days.
admit.
Yep.
Yep.
I think one of the games probably I would want to spend more time in before it gets in the top 5 of my list, but could certainly make it. There is No Man's Sky.
I mean, like, yeah.
My computer
So,
stopped being able to run it for whatever reason without it like chugging, so that's one that I will, once I get a new computer,
Sky.
I will definitely
I
get
don't
it
think
to
like No Man's Sky would be. I don't think it ever like has quite done it for me with like the experience, but I like appreciate. Well, I appreciate all they've like done for it, and I like just like going into there and like kind of like losing myself in all the content. But at the same time, like I'm never like gonna be like this is like groundbreaking. Like none of the gameplay is like too exciting. Like it's more of like just like a kind of nice time.
Well, yeah, but for the AAA space, that's something that they hadn't touched that much. We have played indie games that are similar to that. And
Is No Man's Sky like AAA? I feel like they're like
it
double
was
A.
considered AAA at the time, yeah.
I
It
mean,
was
I
like
don't
indie
think it's, like,
indie
huge.
AAA, but
Well,
it was
it's-
AAA.
They were
popularity.
financed by Sony a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I don't think the studio's like huge though.
No, Hello Games isn't that
Um,
big.
But like, I mean, and obviously they very much were talking about things that they were not actually delivering. But I don't know.
You
They
don't
like
say.
they
At least not at the outset. They've
Yeah.
kind of started to knock out a lot of those
I
things.
think
and,
I think
yeah.
maybe what kind of was said was like the developers were like, "What is our boss saying that we're making? This is not right at all." um, but like, but I mean, like, yeah, like the amount of stuff they've put into it, like, yeah, there's a good game in there now, and like, it's a lot of content. It's a pretty fun time. I don't think like the actual game itself is like groundbreaking in that regard. Like the combat and like ship stuff isn't like too engaging, but it's kind of just like a nice time to be had. You can kind of look at cool stuff, build neat things, and then once you've gotten through most of the stuff, you can either just like put it down, and then there will be like another update in a couple months.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
will
like the way-
say the way that what I was able to play of it, I did enjoy quite a bit. So
Mhm.
kind of scratched an itch for me that like I really wanted to play a game like that for a really long time.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, like I said, I don't know if it would make top 5 for me.
Yeah.
But it's a good game now, which is good.
Yep.
It's very much the
Like-
example of like, you know, stuff can be really crappy at the beginning, but if you keep working at it, you know,
Yep.
you can
I
give
mean, like,
people time to get for something to get good. Yeah.
It's still an anomaly in this day and
Yeah.
age. Like the two examples I think that exist are No Man's Sky and Final Fantasy 14 for games that
Right.
were bad and then got really good.
Yes.
Where they actually were able to turn it around, and the
Yeah.
developers did not completely let them completely drop and say, "No, we're moving on to the next project. This is a loss." They did not
Yep.
count it as a loss. Yes, unfortunately, that's an unusual scenario.
Yeah, and most of the time when it happens in the AAA space, if it was like done by a studio that was owned by a big publisher, the publisher's just going to be like, okay, we're going to dissolve the studio now. I know then like in the good old days, the studio made like some of people's most beloved games, but we feel like that they're not doing what they used to do, so we're just going to kill them, even though we kind of gutted them already, but we're getting rid of them now. Just a lot of depressing stuff you could talk about in this regard.
Yeah.
It's,
Why do I have this?
what are my games? I mean, I think I put Minecraft in my top 5. I'd put a Souls-like, and I'm trying to figure out which one would go in there. Like, I could say Elden Ring, but I don't know if that's necessarily my favorite. Maybe Bloodborne. I wouldn't. I mean, I could say like 3 of them are in my top 5, but technically, I think one of the genre should deserve the spot.
Terraria is one of them.
Yeah, Terraria is another interesting one because I think it would, and I don't, but I also don't necessarily know if it should be fighting with Minecraft in there. But even though they are completely different experiences.
Terraria and Minecraft are 2 different games.
I would say like there's also like additional games that would be like my top 5 games I like to watch other people play, which like number one for that is FTL Multiverse.
Oh.
Or FTL in general is probably number 1 game that I like to watch other people play that I don't play myself because I suck at it.
That can depend a lot. Like sometimes it's
but I recognize my limitations on the game. It's like this is a good game. I'm just not very good at it, but I do enjoy watching other people do it.
I very much like for watching stuff. I'll just like no matter how much I love something, if it's like for too many hours, I'll kind of not love a game as much if I've watched someone play too much of it. So honestly, I kind of just like when streamers swap stuff often, but I think that's also not sustainable for streamers.
Clarification: FTL, Faster Than Light.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. I know that had like a. I didn't know that was still going as a big game. honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's a big game,
it's
but
not a big game, but
it's a beloved classic at this point.
yes, pretty much. And there's
I
also
mean, as when the people are still watching, that's what I mean.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very, very like thorough, complex mod called Multiverse for it, which basically takes the original game and expands it out like with dozens of more branching paths.
Yeah,
It's
I have heard of
it's
something like
it's
that.
such it's such a really well put together mod. And I think they're still working and doing updates for it and stuff, but yeah, like I think it's definitely one of the few times that I've like seen the base game and been like, that's pretty good, and I've seen someone play the mod and I've just been like, this is incredible. Like I can't believe they got all of this complex stuff in here. It feels like something that the original devs would have made.
Yeah. No, I love when a game is like moddable to the extent that people can just add content that is like indistinguishable from the original's quality. Like Terraria mods, I think, do that really well as well.
Some of them.
Like some of the,
The
I mean,
one
like
that-
Thorium's probably
ones that
the best at that, and then like Calamity does its own thing, even though it's still really good quality. And then there's like then there's a bunch of garbage, obviously, but
Right.
even just like the good ones are like really good.
You get that with some of the racing games I like to play as well, like Assetto Corsa. It's like the highlight of that game is just how highly moddable the engine is, and you get some really wacky stuff, some really cool things. You get people who like they go and they find cars from other older games, they just rip them, they throw a basic body on them, some basic physics, and it's just like this thing drives like crap, you know. The track's just ported over from another game, and like there's like potholes that throw your car around that shouldn't be there, and it's just like,
That's really
yeah, someone put like very minimum effort into this. And then there's people who go out and they get the LiDAR data from different parts of the world, and they
Nice.
faithfully recreate like racetracks, or they go out and they build these cars from scratch, and they fine tune them and all that stuff, you know. And you know, some of those are like the paid, or some of those are paid, right? You know,
Yeah.
you buy them from somebody, and 'cause, you know, they spend a lot of time. They spend time working on it. I think that's fair. But yeah, like there's like really good content, and it's just incredible what you can put into it. And then there's like goofy stuff, like there's someone modded like a high speed Formula 1 car, but the model for the car is a cat.
Oh, nice.
You've probably seen it because it's been a bunch
I don't
of, like,
know if this was
Right.
this game. I saw a very funny video. It was some probably car racing game. Maybe if this game is the quintessential moddable one, it could have been this one. But so you know the Deja Vu, the
Yeah.
whole racing thing.
yeah.
So they were like recreating the video, and like the car starts at like a building, but then the joke is that the building just started driving away, and
That's
it was the building that was the car actually.
It probably was, because it's just it's so highly moddable that yeah, you can do stuff like that.
It could have been maybe BeamNG Drive, but
It could have been, yeah, BeamNG Drive's another one. It would depend on the. I'd be able to tell from looking at the
right.
map that they were driving on.
But I mean that kind of stuff's just really silly.
Yeah.
The game is like getting really. I haven't done. I'll have you know, I haven't done anything for like the past hour. Like I was gonna like. I mean, at this point, I finished the basement structure. I just need to like put some stuff in there. But like the museum layout's mostly done. Just probably a couple more lights, and like maybe a book display, and then like the basement populate with junk. But
There we go.
yeah, the museum's pretty good. But I mean, also, and I brought that up because I'm also freezing like crazy, and thankfully it's not really meaning anything because I'm just running in circles. So
Okay, with that, I'm done. I've already rotated the milk and the cheese.
Nice.
I just made like a whole bunch of stuff so that it'll turn into wine soon. That's I got all I like harvested all the berries and turned and filled all the vats.
Nice.
The problem is you got to drink it when it's still wine until before it turns into vinegar, which is a problem.
Yummy.
Some things can turn into fine wine.
That's what your mother said.
I think I have heard of the Archipelago mods. It was like, yeah, the idea is like you play a game. I think it's kind of like a randomizer, but you like play with other people and you find like the item for someone else's game in your game, and then they'll get your item.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff like that.
I mean, randomizers honestly are very fun.
Randomizers are great. I love them. I need to get back into playing them.
The only one I've done is a Dark Souls one, but like, I think any game that like has a good randomizer, like some games have like such like a lot of older games obviously, they have like such a good game design that the randomizer actually makes it feel like a new game.
That's right.
Yep, Link to the Past is one of those games. It's fantastic. It's basically like the original game is good, and this is like, congratulations, you have a puzzle, now figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, because I think that the best thing is when you're like, you have like a key item that opens somewhere, but it's not going to be there, so you have to figure out where this is going to be so you can open here, and you have to like, sometimes you might like progress in a different order. You'd be like, wow.
Right. Wow. Yeah, just that one.
Okay.
That was a lot of work.
Wow.
Just making those vessels was a lot of work. We still have all this other stuff that we haven't drank yet either. We have fine mead here.
What about coarse mead?
Coarse.
No, of course.
No, I think that's called that's called dry honey.
Oh. It does like become all crystally.
Coarse mead, the sandpaper of alcohol.
And that I think I'm done.
I think that's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good stepping off point. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my little humble abode.
I'll just hang out here.
Well, I didn't make the place to not log off in it.
Right. That makes sense.
I should put a bed in the museum and just sleep there. I could like sleep in the basement, I guess. That can be my actual house. I live in a basement.
Humble commode? What's why commode? Commode is a word for toilet. I've never heard that one.
That is if that is a word for toilet, that is a very good word play. Very well done. Alright, logging off.
Now I want to tempt you with AI games of the future. Okay.
Wait, are you talking about like
That's what
the ones where? Yeah, I mean, like, are we talking about like games where just like the AI made the game, or like AI Dungeon where you just like type in words and the AI tells you what happens, or like games with like AI NPCs that properly react to what you're doing? Or some of those ideas are good ones and some of them are like horrible ones.
I'm gonna make this into a place with a bed. To the next week. Alright. I'm done. Alright, talk to you later, guys.
Alright, bye-bye. Hope you see you
1 week left.
Yep.
And that will do it for Vintage Story for today. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We actually got into a long rant there. Wow. I will see you guys tomorrow with some Vault Hunters, I'm sure. All bits, tips, and resubs, but you guys will survive. But that's going to do it. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a good night. I'm going to send you guys off to, let's see. Raid. Well, not Liage. Not Nihon. Because they're both ending. We'll go with... What's Michael playing? Oh, they're playing some FTB Genesis, I think? Yeah, I'll send you guys out to that. Have fun with Michael. All best tips, resources by you guys who survived, but that's good to do. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.